I came all the way to the Jimmy Kimmel show.
Did I just call that man Jimmy Kimmel? Sorry. Well, listen, fascism got me ready to defend all the Jimmys at this point. Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon. I'm ready to boycott, right? Because boycotts do work. Don't they, Jimmy?
This Thanksgiving, we ain't buying it.
It's time for a little comedy, a little content, and a lot of conversation. It's the Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube. Now here's your host, Geno Jones.
Hey, showtime. I guess I hit that little button. I hit that button a little early. Didn't I hit it a little early? You could tell I'm excited to come back on. As a matter of fact, all right, look, I'm gonna start over. I'm gonna do it again. I want to hit that open again because I was so excited. I think I cut off the last couple seconds, right? All right, here we go, guys.
It's time for a little comedy, a little content, and a lot of conversation. It's the Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube. Now here's your host, Geno Jones.
That's why you live. That's why you love live TV. Yes, that's why you live love. That's why you love live TV. What's happening, everybody? It's Thanksgiving Eve. Ladies and gentlemen, the Geno Jones Show. Yes, we're not going to do that again. It's going to be one of those shows, I can tell, but that's okay. Here we go. Yes. Yeah. There we go. We're back. Monday through Friday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 6:30 Central Time, 4:30 p.m. on the West Coast. All right, listen up, everybody. Programming note, no live show Thursday or Friday. Obviously, Thursday, Thanksgiving. And Friday is We Ain't Buying It. Or as I say, we ain't buying shit, the economic boycott, the holiday blackout. Now, what is that all about? So, well, first of all, like I said, normally I come on Monday through Friday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern and 6:30 Chicago Central Time. Out on the West Coast about 4:30. So tell everybody, of course, to subscribe to my channel, share this in every episode, click on the thumbs up, like this in every episode. You can do a screenshot, grab some of the video, make it go viral, binge watch all my shows. Now, once again, no live show this Thursday or Friday. It's the best of the Geno Jones Show. Pick your favorite episodes and make it a binge watch Thanksgiving weekend. You don't need Amazon. You don't need Netflix. You don't need none of that. Hulu, right here on YouTube, binge watch the show. Now, I have been calling for this holiday blackout since America's anti-DEI. I'm like, fine, let's do this. So we're going to anti-DEI our money and our talent. So we pull our money out of the economy. We will support black-owned businesses, minority-owned businesses, small businesses. But these big retailers with these CEOs, is with the MAGA madness and the inhumanity, we're not doing that. So then I want to shout out Black Voters Matter, Indivisible, and Freedom, among other organizations. They put together this We Ain't Buying It economic boycott, primarily of Amazon, Home Depot, and Target. But I think there's more. Walmart is on there. So basically, all these major retailers, we're not spending any money. Now, if you want to learn more about it, I want to introduce my dear friend, one of the co-founders of Black Voters Matter, along with my brother Cliff Averill. Here's my sister and my sister, Latasha Brown. Latasha, my sister, and my sister, tell everybody about the We Ain't Buying It economic boycott and why we ain't buying it. Or as I say, we ain't buying shit.
20 to 40% of retail sales happen on one weekend, a weekend that starts what we call Black Friday. So look, black folks, if they're going to call it Black Friday, let's show them what a Black Friday really look like. And so for that weekend, what we're doing is we're calling We Ain't Buying It. We ain't buying this foolishness. We're not buying this racism. We're not buying this abandonment of DEI. We're not buying that the wealthiest country in the world cannot take care of its own citizens, but can take money to build golden dining rooms. we're not buying from companies that won't stand with us. We're not buying from companies that have aligned themselves with racists, that have aligned themselves with those who are seeking to hurt and harm us. What we are going to do is on Thursday, instead of spending money with anybody, we're going to spend time with the ones we love, with our family and our friends. We're not spending any money that day. We're going to spend our greatest capital, which is love, with those that we love. On Friday, which is Black Friday, we're going to black it out. On that Black Friday, what we're going to do is we're going to show them what a Black Friday really is. You're not going to get our money. We're not going to spend with you. And that Saturday and Sunday, we know that small businesses have always been the engine that's kept our communities going. So we're going to ask you, if you got to buy something that weekend, we understand that we all like to shop during the Thanksgiving holidays, that you take time and go to a small, local owned, a black owned, a women owned business, or businesses owned by immigrants, like people who are in our community, that embedded our community. We take our resources and redirect it there. And then on Monday, listen, y'all, on Monday, it is Cyber Monday. That is the biggest tech day of the year. Remember those same tech dudes that were sitting in the White House, centered around Donald Trump, kissing his feet? We got to send them a message on that day. We're not buying anything online on that day, because this is a moment for us to really flex, use our powers, build our muscles, so that we can show collectively we have power.
All right, thank you, my sister. That's Latasha Brown, co-founder, Black Voters Matter. So that's what the We Ain't Buying It economic boycott is all about. I've been saying all along, the way to get people's attention with money and power is to dig in them pockets. And we as Black Americans, we control somewhere between 2 to 3 trillion, with a T, not billion, trillion dollars in spending power. We spend a lot of money. We put a lot of folks online, from Facebook, from Twitter, which is now X, you name it, Instagram, all these social media apps, all those billionaires that you saw and heard Latasha Brown just talk about. Black people, they do what they call over-index. Like we make somewhere 14, they say 13, 14. They probably undercounters. We're probably closer to maybe 20,000, 20%, 15%, I'm just saying. But anyway, you can round it off, 14, 15%, whatever, of the population. But we over-index. We spend more proportionately than white Americans, who make up a larger percentage of the population of America. So we drive culture, we drive commerce, listen, Amazon, Black folks have put Amazon on the map. You got millions. Yeah, you got millions of white, but the proportion, I guarantee you, and I'll have the data for you, but the percentage of Black Americans who have Amazon Prime subscriptions, as compared to the percentage of white Americans or Hispanic Americans, I guarantee you, percentage-wise of the population, I guarantee you that Black Americans, we make up a higher percentage population-wise. Like a higher percentage of Black Americans probably shop and subscribe to Amazon Prime and all that than the percentage of white Americans. You can do your own chat GPT, or actually there is a Black-owned website called Digital Green Book, and they have their own AI source on this website. It is a great resource. We can get all kind of information about Black-owned businesses, Black media, Black newspaper, and links to Black businesses of all types, Black, like I said, media, newspapers, retail, entrepreneurs, business. And so I went to digitalgreenbook.org, and I found a site called Black Nile, like the Nile River, blacknile.co, like blacknile.co for company. I call it like an alternative to Amazon. Now remember, Jeff Bezos, when he started Amazon, dude was in it literally in his garage. Little nerdy looking dude. He's still nerdy looking, but he was like broke and nerdy looking, or he looked broke and nerdy looking, and he built Amazon up. And Black Americans played a major part in the growth and building up Amazon. Just the whole, everything Amazon. And we don't have shit to show for it. And Amazon got rid of their DEI programs. Jeff Bezos front and center supporting this racist regime. But we still, every month, millions of Black Americans, pay that, whatever it is, $10 a month to subscribe to Amazon and Amazon Prime and all that, all the packages. So if you haven't checked it out, I want you to check out blacknile.co. Black Nile, like the river, BLACKNILE.co. I'm calling it an alternative to Amazon. They have links, Black-owned grocery stores, Black-owned beauty supply, hairstylists, Black-owned hotels and villas, Black-owned restaurants, spas, churches. They've got food products. They got soap, toilet paper, paper towel, hair products, makeup, clothes, you name it. It is all on this site, blacknile.co. So next Monday, Cyber Monday, leave Amazon alone, all right? Because they are one of the main targets, no pun intended, along with Target, right, of the boycott, Amazon. So if I know some folks, it's like an addiction. I know some of you all can't help it. It's like you get a high, you get that dopamine rush, that part of your brain that releases dopamine. You see that package with that little logo, with that little racist ass Jeff Bezos, and you're like, ooh, I got another package. You can get that same dopamine rush. Go to blacknile.co. And I got to do some more, because I want to do some research. I want to find out the owners of blacknile.co. If somebody's watching and leave me a message in my comment section below. But I'm going to do some research after the holiday in hopes to get the founders and the owners, because also this website, and it's a beautiful website. It really is. Very user-friendly, just clean. They did a great job. So shout out to blacknile.co. It is it's like a one-stop shop. Like I said, it's think of Amazon in the early years, but it looks so much cleaner and nicer. And we can grow our own blacknile.co, just like we helped to grow Amazon, because they got everything you need on there, virtually everything you need. It's really nice. Check it out if you got a chance to really check it out. And make sure you check out digitalgreenbook.org, digitalgreenbook.org. I do that. So this is the way, and there are other sites and other links where you can find out about other Black-owned businesses, depending on what type of business, be it restaurants, or it could be clothing, hair care products, maybe Black-owned grocery stores. I'm thinking about farmers markets, Black-owned farmers markets, just all type of Black-owned businesses and institutions. And you can find all that. Go to Digital Green Book, and they've got all these separate pages. Digitalgreenbook.org, digitalgreenbook.org. But check out, if you want to do some shopping, because you can tell the kids that Orange Hitler sent the ICE agents to the North Pole, and those racist ICE agents, with the mask on, they went into the North Pole, and they kidnapped Santa and Mrs. Claus, and they put him in a detention camp somewhere in Central America. The ICE agents kidnapped Santa and took him away. So you got to go to blacknile.co to do your holiday shopping and support these wonderful Black-owned businesses, and that beautiful site, blacknile.com, and Digital Green Book, digitalgreenbook.org, digitalgreenbook.org. All right? So I had to tell you about that. Go back and watch last night's episode. It is so important, because there are people say, okay, so what's going to happen? Or, what are we going to do after? And what's the purpose of the boycott? The purpose is to send a message And like I said, my grandmother taught me as a little boy. She said, Jeannie, don't beg nobody. Don't beg nobody to take your money. And these CEOs from Amazon to Target to Home Depot to Walmart, Apple, I could go on and on, all these major retailers, Google, all those CEOs that was at the White House or doing the inauguration, wherever they had that damn inauguration, supporting Orange Hitler and this racist, misogynist, sexist regime that specializes in inhumanity, hate, bigotry, division, cruelty, and not giving a damn about nobody, including these poor and working class white folks that thought that their whiteness would somehow protect them. These billionaires, these white billionaires don't give a shit about you. They think, all right, listen up, let me just say this to all my working class and poor white brothers and sisters, even the ones that may not, even the MAGA cult. See, your girl, Marjorie Taylor Greene, she effed around and found out. She was Orange Hitler's biggest supporter, and he turned on her because she just wanted the Epstein files released, unredacted, unblacked out with everybody's name. And it's clear that Orange Hitler's name is in there because his own Justice Department, they had all these agents going through the Epstein files, and they found out, oh, well, tell Donald Trump, the president, his name shows up in the Epstein files like 2,000 times. We've seen the video. There's nobody that's been seen on video and in photos with convicted sex trafficker who allegedly hanged himself in prison, Jeffrey Epstein, who said on record that Donald Trump was his best friend for 10 years. No, there's nobody that's seen in more videos and pictures than Orange Hitler himself, Donald Trump. And if his own Justice Department said it, Orange Hitler's name is in the Epstein files like 2,000 times, of course, that's why he's worked so hard to try to keep these files from coming out. But they're coming out, partner. The chickens have come home to roost. They're crowing. That rooster has been crowing loud. And Marjorie Taylor Greene was one of those roosters crowing, and you and your racist thugs, MAGA cult thugs, violent white nationalists and violent domestic terrorists threatened Marjorie Taylor Greene. So she's tapping out. She's like, January, I'm out of here. But in 4 years, she's already got her money. She came in, she was worth like $700,000. Now she is worth somewhere between $25 to $40 million. That's a whole nother conversation about insider trading and a lot more. But the fact is, the dude is, she worshiped the ground he walked on, and he turned on her. And he's turned, yes, poor working class white Americans who thought this made up construct, social construct, a con game of race, which is some made up bullshit by Europeans that couldn't stand and that they despised poor Europeans. They called your ancestors peasants, and they still look at you as peasants, and they don't give a shit about you, which is why they have done everything they can to take the money for the social programs that help you out, the money that will go to your health care, Obamacare subsidies, these Medicare cuts that's going to hit, these Medicare cuts that's going to hit like the beginning of 2026, Medicaid cuts, health insurance cuts, and a whole lot more, cutting SNAP benefits. The majority of people on SNAP, 44%, the largest percentage of Americans on SNAP are white Americans. In the beginning of the month, you couldn't get your benefits. So he and these billionaires, from the Elon Musk to the Jeff Bezos and Mark Zuckerbergs and Peter Thiels, they have shown you they don't give a shit about you. They despise poor and working class white Americans. They don't give a shit about no whiteness. They use whiteness And they plant that in your head, and they talk to you. Oh, well, you know, these violent black folks and these violent immigrants and all that bullshit. Nobody is more violent than these Europeans who've come here. This country was the Native Americans. And unfortunately, Thanksgiving for Native Americans is not a holiday. You're celebrating the genocide of Native Americans. The Native Americans showed generosity to these pilgrims that came here and would have starved and frozen if it wasn't for the Native Americans. And they had a feast, and it was Thanksgiving. And how did these European pilgrims, how did they show the Native Americans that they appreciated what they did and they appreciated the gratitude and the humanity? By virtually exterminating almost the entire Native American population, and they gave them blankets with smallpox and a whole lot more. So don't talk to me about violence. Violence, stop it. But these billionaires don't give a shit about poor and working class white Americans or black Americans. They don't give a shit about poor and working class people, period. And they've shown you. They're taking all the money that they're taking away from health care and SNAP benefits and Head Start, the Obamacare subsidies, Medicaid, Medicare, Social Security. Take that money and give it to these billionaires that you've given a $1 trillion tax cut to people who are worth $200 and $300 billion. From the Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos and Mark Zuckerbergs and Peter Thiels and that whole ilk. But for poor and working class white America, they trick you, and it's like waving a red flag in front of a bull. Oh, yes, oh, you got to be afraid of, the New York City mayor, Zoran Mamdani. Oh, he's a jihadist and a terrorist, and then he punked Donald Trump's ass in the White House. Donald Trump was like, oh, it's going to be great. He talked about him and called Mamdani everything but a child of God. And then when Mamdani stood right next to Donald Trump bitched out, punked out, oh, he's great. I'm going to help him, and he's going to do a great job, and I'm going to help him do a great job. And yes, I would be comfortable living in New York City. All the lies and all the hatred and fear that Orange Hitler stoked when Zoran Mamdani was running for mayor, all that disappeared last Friday. Goes to show you the only color these billionaires care about is green, is padding their pockets and putting more money in all of their different bank accounts and stock options and all. They don't give a shit about poor and working class people. Yes, you white MAGA cult members, they don't. And now many of you all are beginning to figure that out. I've been saying it all along. Those white billionaires, I'm telling you what they say about you. They despise poor white Americans because they look at you and say, what's wrong with you? You've had a 400+ year head start on black Americans. So if you're not a billionaire, if you don't have money, if you are poor, then it's something wrong with you. Because this whole system was designed, especially for white men, to have control. All the social, economic, and political control. But they have used racism to distract you, and sexism and misogyny and hatred and bigotry in all of its forms, worrying about trans women, or gays or lesbians marrying, or Muslims or Mexicans, anybody, just to have you be afraid and focus on any and everybody, but the one people and the one group of people that you should be focusing on is that these white men who are billionaires who have all the control of the social, economic, and political power. The original Constitution, the only people that could vote, it was in writing, it was codified in writing. It was white male landowners. Sound familiar? That was 2 2.5 centuries ago, way back in the late 1700s. And here we are. The people with the power, wealthy, white, male, landowners and business owners and these billionaires is the same class of people. And they never gave a shit about poor and working class people who had European background or African background or a background from somewhere in Latin America or Spain or Portugal. They never gave a shit. But they had to distract these Europeans and make them fear somebody else. And I need y'all to look at somebody else and fear somebody else so we can dig in your pocket and take all your money. So this is a way for Black Americans and for all the Hispanic and the Native American and the Asian brothers and sisters and for the white brothers and sisters that's not with the inhumanity and hatred and bigotry and racism and misogyny and sexism. You can be a part of this "we ain't buying it" economic boycott, this holiday blackout that I called for, and the "we ain't buying it" economic boycott starts the 27th, from Thanksgiving through Cyber Monday, next Monday. And support your Black-owned businesses, your women-owned businesses, your minority-owned businesses, your small businesses. And if you're looking for a site, if you just got, you think you got that Amazon fix, you like a junkie, I got the cure for that fix. Go to blacknile.co, blacknile.co. That's Black Nile, like the Nile River, BLACKNILE.co. To me, it's like an alternative to Amazon. It's a website where you can shop for every grocery stores, links to grocery stores, all Black-owned businesses, grocery stores, beauty supply locations, hairstylists, hotels and villas, restaurants, Black-owned business, all across America, spas, Black-owned spas, churches, all across America. And Digital Green Book is a link to where you can get even more information about Black-owned businesses, from Black-owned media companies, newspapers, and all types of businesses. It is a great resource. They both are. So Digital Green Book, and the Digital Green Book has its own AI. I think it's Ask Aisha, something like that. So you don't even need to use ChatGPT or whatever. Just go to the Digital Green Book and ask Aisha. Use that AI. I think her name is Aisha. But when you go to a Digital Green Book, you'll see it on one of the main home pages. But be sure to check out blacknile.co, because we control $2 to $3 trillion in spending power. So we have to build up our community. So it don't matter. You don't want to be bothered with us, corporate America, all you racist CEOs. We don't want to be bothered. We don't want to F with you either. We'll build our own community and culture. And you won't burn it down, and you won't bomb it this time. No. It ain't going down, because we're going to make sure that we, part of the strategy and the plan, we're going to make sure we have a plan to protect what we have built. Our institutions, our businesses, schools, businesses, you name it. So just understand. So we are all we got. But we are all we need, and we, Black America, we got everything we need. We got blacknile.co. We got digitalgreenbook.org, and so many more. Businesses all across America. Check out that website, blacknile.co. All right? You will be glad you did. That's where you do your shopping. And check out the digitalgreenbook.org. All right? Thank you for letting me be a part of your life. As always, God bless each and every one of you and especially you. Live Monday through Friday, normally 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 6:30 p.m. Central Time, 4:30 p.m. on the West Coast. Programming note, no live show this Thursday. Happy Thanksgiving. And no live show Friday, the holiday blackout. We ain't buying it. No major retailer, no Amazon, no Home Depot, no Target, no Walmart, no Macy's. None they got their parade. None of these major retailers, none of it. These major supermarket chains, all these CEOs and companies that got rid of their DEI programs and that supported this racist regime. Nope. We're not begging nobody to take our money. When you show us that you don't give a shit about us, that you don't respect our money, that means that you don't give a shit about us as people, as a person, and you don't give a shit about our money. So we don't beg nobody to take our money. Not at all. We keep our money right here in the community. And those who are not racist, feel free to support us, because black folks have supported white-owned businesses since black people have been in America. And nobody's ever complained about it. You black folks don't complain about it. But the minute, black Americans in mass focused on building up their economic base and community, other communities do it. The Jewish community keeps their money in their community. The Koreans do the same. The Irish, the Italians, everybody else. So we doing it now. But if you want to come into the community and support our businesses like we do yours, you go to Mexican restaurants, you go to Italian restaurants, because you love pizza, pasta. You go to Irish-themed restaurants, and I could go on and on and on. All the different types of cuisine all around the world. So we're going to build up our community. All right. So we'll see you Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Once again, I want you to hear from my friend Latasha Brown, co-founder of Black Voters Matter. She is a force of nature, and her nonprofit, along with my brother Cliff Averill, Black Voters Matter, along with Indivisible and Until Freedom, they really organized the We Ain't Buying It, and I just put the SH in front of the IT, and I call it the We Ain't Buying Shit Economic Boycott, which for me is all part of the holiday blackout that I've called for. Pull all of our money out of the economy, this American economy, from Halloween to New Year's Day. But Sister Latasha Brown, I close the show. I'm going to turn it back to you. I want you to tell everybody exactly what the We Ain't Buying It, or We Ain't Buying Shit economic boycott is all about, why we are doing it, and then what we should do with our money. Thank you for watching. Take it away, my sister.
20 to 40% of retail sales happen on one weekend, a weekend that starts what we call Black Friday. So look, black folks, if they're going to call it Black Friday, let's show them what a Black Friday really look like. And so for that weekend, what we're doing is we're calling We Ain't Buying It. We ain't buying this foolishness. We're not buying this racism. We're not buying this abandonment of DEI. We're not buying that the wealthiest country in the world cannot take care of its own citizens, but can take money to build golden dining rooms. We're not buying from companies that won't stand with us. We're not buying from companies that have aligned themselves with racists, that have aligned themselves with those who are seeking to hurt and harm us. What we are going to do is on Thursday, instead of spending money with anybody, we're going to spend time with the ones we love, with our family and our friends. We're not spending any money that day. We're going to spend our greatest capital, which is love, with those that we love. On Friday, which is Black Friday, we're going to black it out. On that Black Friday, what we're going to do is we're going to show them what a Black Friday really is. You're not going to get our money. We're not going to spend with you. And that Saturday and Sunday, we know that small businesses have always been the engine that's kept our communities going. So we're going to ask you, if you got to buy something that weekend, we understand that we all like to shop during the Thanksgiving holidays, that you take time and go to a small, local-owned, a black-owned, a women-owned business, or businesses owned by immigrants, like people who are in our community, that embedded our community. We take our resources and redirect it there. And then on Monday, listen, y'all, on Monday, it is Cyber Monday. That is the biggest tech day of the year. Remember those same tech dudes that were sitting in the White House, centered around Donald Trump, kissing his feet? We got to send them a message on that day. We're not buying anything online on that day, because this is a moment for us to really flex, use our powers, build our muscles, so that we can show collectively we have power.
Subscribe and tune in to the next episode of The Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube.
I came all the way to the Jimmy Kimmel Show. Did I just call it, man, Jimmy Kimmel? Sorry. Well, listen, fascism got me ready to defend all the Jimmys at this point. Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon. I'm ready to boycott, right? Because boycotts do work. Don't they, Jimmy?
This Thanksgiving, give me everybody.